Hello, everybody. Welcome. Wow, we have a lot of people already in the chat this morning. It's great to see everybody up what I call early. Not necessarily here or in your area or back east, but certainly out here in the Pacific time zone. Welcome, Joan. I'm so happy to have you all to myself this morning.
It's the delight to be here. And thank you there's so many people here. Thanks for showing up.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. I know that a lot of you already know Joan. She's always on my show. Well, as many times as she can be there on my show on Thursday nights with the other mediums. And, we just love her. And she came from that, I think you came from that supersonic medium class that was done with everybody coming open at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Is that right, Joan? Yeah.
Yes. I think a lot of people, Jean and Terry Suzuki and Terry Lee,
yeah,
had taken a series of classes together with Medium Kim and Susan Lin. Mm-hmm. And I only took one. There was one called The Psychic Hustle. And so I joined them there. And then Jean started doing a weekly meeting for anybody who wanted to come. And so I grabbed onto that. And that was
you hustled, and boy, oh boy.
It was really fun. But we do have a good relationship and a trusting relationship and know each other. So it makes it really fun to read together.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And at the beginning of when you started, your practice sessions, you offered so many wonderful readings for free in order to get your energy up and your vibe up and be able to go with several people. I think what did you do it for, like a month? I think you did it a month.
I did about 75 freebies, and I just loved it because I needed to practice. And oh my, that was my favorite thing to do, to spend a whole hour getting into somebody's energy. And it was funny because between readings, I would go down and tell my husband, who is an engineer and still, he's lived with me for all this, or had lived with me for almost 38 years. And so he kind of knew about this stuff going on. But I would say, oh, it's so cool. I said this, and then this happened. And he would just say, kind of nod and try and take it in and try and balance rational engineering person with, I lived with Joan and her sister, know her sisters who are kind of into this for so long that, anyway, but it was fun. I think.
I'm so glad you were able to share that with your husband too before he passed. I really think that when he left the planet, so to speak, he took with him the fact that he can still communicate with you eventually. You can. I love that. That's just so wonderful. That's so wonderful.
If there were any guests, those free readings helped.
It
helped.
That's true. So yes, Gerald says he got one of those freebie readings and it was amazing. I did too. It was wonderful. Joan brought in my mom, and I hadn't heard from her in a long, long time. And it was just fabulous. It really was. And
it was fun. Yeah. And I get as much from it and Tarot's Dash really helped me too. I don't remember the specifics, but there was something at the end that I thought, oh, that's just me saying. And he said, no, that's coming from spirit. So it's like, oh, really?
Oh, wow.
That's really an opportunity for me.
Yeah. I know that some people I don't know why, but they feel like, well, I don't know if I have a reading by another reader here on the chat, in YouTube, feel funny about it or whatever. But no, I think we all complement each other. We do teach each other things. And I know that you work with Terry and Jean on a show bi-weekly. It's bi-weekly, isn't it?
Every other Monday.
Every other Monday.
That's a fun one to do.
So you get to practice with that. And a lot of the times you three have that psychic bounce going on, you're seeing the same thing. Yeah. It's fascinating. It's so wonderful to watch the unfolding of talent, so to speak, from spirit. Because I realize that it isn't you personally. No.
Right. Yeah. But you are the one who has introduced so many people to the broader community, and you kind of get them when they're early on, and then
early on.
It's really, it must be kind of fun. But a lot of people.
It is. It's kind of like your readings. Yeah. It's like I get something from it. It uplifts me. It makes me happy. Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
great.
thank you for that, for all you do for everybody, me included.
Absolutely. We are a little bit late in doing this, Joan and I, but I gave Joan a time frame. I said, whenever you're ready, we'll do it. And so she's beyond ready. She's doing really well on her own show. And she also works with the Junosphere. Uh, and they do a program, a show together as well. So there's a lot of collaboration and collaboration with the chat. And that's, that's something beautiful. Yeah. That's great.
Yesterday, I did a show for the first time with Gertrude Shue, who.
Okay, you did? All right.
Well, you talked to her
I
yesterday.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fabulous. And we decided that, that was well received. And I think we're going to be doing that at least monthly, maybe every other week. So
Good.
Gertrude and Raja and me.
Did she channel for you?
Well, it was odd because she said she can't do it in the moment, but she can tell when he's there. So we did a little practice run through before yesterday's show. So I would just kind of do my normal thing. I'm not like claiming that I can channel Raha.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I would do my usual thing of tuning into people's spirit guides and who's ever showing up. And then she said, yeah, that's him. And what was weird about that show was it was like everything I saw, and the message, what I saw was different for each person, but the overall message was the same. And I kept thinking, people are going to think that this is the only thing I know how to say or making it up. And afterwards, she said, no, that is, and the message was lift your vibration and because that will help others lift theirs too. And it's part of the whole ascension process. And she said, those are the 2 points that he keeps hammering home on. But so anyhow, so that was great. I would kind of go through her to get to him. But she did say that then she would do cards, but she did say she got something directly for the very first time during that.
Oh, well, that's great.
So
yeah.
I think she'll watch.
I think so too. I love her energy. She's such a sweetie, honestly. Yeah. And every card she pulled resonated with the people that asked the questions. And so I told her she's going to be very busy and, but she was worried because, she gets her messages in Malaysian. And so I said, well, it's going to take some practice for you to do an auto translate, but that's really awesome. It is awesome. Yeah. So Joan, tell me, did you have an inkling when you were younger, or did you have any interest? You must have had some kind of interest in metaphysical stuff.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
As a really young kid, that I had experiences like a lot of people do. First, they were really positive. Like when I was, 3 or 4 or something like that. I loved going to bed at night because whether I had my eyes open or closed, I could see colors, just little pinpricks of light in the dark. And it was kind of dreamy. It was kind of cool. And then as I got a little older, then I started seeing ghosts. And it was so frightening. And one time especially, there was this ghost that I saw that was like backing down the stairway and beckoning me to come. And it was, so there were many years of, if not seeing them, I would sense the presence. And it was lots of
off-putting. Scary.
Yeah. But in my family, my mom and my grandmother and my sisters were kind of tuned in too. And, I think I told the story with the Crone Zone ladies of one time we were teenagers and I came downstairs for breakfast and was yelling at not yelling, but crabbing at my older sister saying, what were you doing in my closet last night, 3 o'clock in the morning? And she said, I wasn't in your closet. Wow. You were going through my sock drawer. And that was, I had sensed that. And she said, that wasn't me. So I thought,
Wow.
And I also told the story about how in that family, because, both, like my mom would have prophetic dreams sometimes. And then my older sister would have prophetic dreams, but most of those of hers were kind of negative. So she just closed that down. She'd see people who she hadn't seen in years have a car accident and then see the name in the paper a couple of weeks later, and it's like, oh, what can I do about this? So anyhow, that kind of
shit. That would be, yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
But I still think she of us was the is the most tuned in. But one time, okay, so the day that my husband proposed on Valentine's Day, 1984,
Oh,
we decided that, okay, we're not going to tell anybody yet. It was in the middle of the week, so he was going to come down and formally ask for my hand from my dad on the weekend when he was free, when they're both free. And so I had previously made plans to have lunch with my mom the day after Valentine's Day. And she called me that morning and said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, let's get together. We're going to have lunch." And then she wouldn't quite let it go. I met her for lunch and she was just like in pain going, "Honey, are you sure everything is all right?" And I could just see she was struggling with something. And so I finally outed with it and said, "Well, is there something wrong? Are you sure you're okay?" And so I put her out of misery and said, "Well, Dick proposed last night. We're going to get married." And she said, "Oh, thank God." I thought
she knew it was big. Yeah, she knew it was big. Wow.
And it happened, and she was reinforced because my older sister had called her that morning and said, "So what's up with Joan? Something's going on."
Yeah.
You couldn't keep secrets, really. So
no, it sounds like you were all tuned into each other completely.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fabulous. Wow. I remember my mom having very prophetic dreams as well. And she always knew when someone came into the house when she wasn't home. Like if I was older and I came in and I could put everything back where it was and I didn't didn't leave a trail or anything, she would say, "Did you come by? I know you came by," and so I followed through that with my own kids where they would do something and I'd say, "How come you did this?" And they said, "How did you know?" And I said, you don't fool your mother. Number one, I'm your mother, but number two, I have a lot of knowing and I just know these things. So yeah, they got a little creeped out by it, but
great that's for moms.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Moms have that intuition anyway, that mom intuition, but this went a little bit further. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
So later on, if you don't mind me rambling.
No, please, that's what you're here for. Yes.
My younger sister went off to California to become an actor, and she started studying at the Louise Hay Institute, and then met up with a woman, a psychic named Gloria, and would come back, on holidays and tell us stories about Gloria. And this is the first, I was probably in my early 20s at this time. And this is the first I'd ever heard of someone actually doing that. And it was fascinating. So
I bet.
Mom and Ann and I would all get on like a party line and, Mary's going to tell us about her Gloria session. And so we were all into it. And not too long after that, I found my own Gloria. Or a metaphysical shop opened up not too far from me and they had readers. So I found I had a reading from this one woman and we really clicked. And she kind of became the family psychic. I consulted her for over 25 years until, and she's and fairly early on, she said, "Yeah, you've got psychic powers." So I said, "Well, should I develop them?" And she was horrified. And she said, "No, then you'd be like me and you'll be hearing voices all day, and you don't want that." So I thought, okay.
That's not a good thing to tell somebody.
No, I don't know. She didn't know how to control that or what.
Right.
Because I think she was just doing it to try and keep me coming. But she became very close, and I'd read everybody in the family practically. And when my younger sister passed, she before anybody knew outside of the immediate family, I got a call from her, Diane, and she said, "Mary's here, my younger sister. She wants to talk to you." And it happened that my older sister and mom and I were sitting around at my house, meeting the day after she died to try and figure out the funeral.
Right.
And so she said, "Okay." And she kind of had a message for me, for Mary. And then I passed the phone around and she had a message for everybody, which was, really nice. And at the same time, there was another psychic that Mary knew and who was close to her fiance. And he got a call from her saying, Mary's here. She wants to talk to you. So anyhow, I kept in touch with Diane, and then I wanted to be in touch with this other psychic too. And the cool thing about Diane was I got just more curious about, okay, I know there's this whole thing going on the other side, but I was a lot more curious because I wanted to know where she was and what she was up to and all of that. And so my husband, the engineer, knew about this, and I was talking about taking psychic development courses. And he gave that to me as a gift for Christmas that year in 2012. And that, and it turned out it was from Echo Bodine. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of her.
I've heard of her.
She's kind of the godmother of psychic development in the Twin Cities. You know, won nationally and has been on national television shows and all that. And has written like 14 books. And so I took that from Echo. And the first day, and I liked it because she had studied under the same person that Diane, my psychic.
Your psychic. Okay.
So it kind of felt like I was still in the flow. And anyhow, so I went up to her that first day and told her the same story about Diane telling me, I don't want to do this because your doors and windows will be open, like flapping in the breeze or something. And Echo said, honey, your doors and windows have been flapping in the breeze for a long time. It's time to learn to get them under control.
Oh my God, I love it. That's fabulous. So wow. Powerful message. Yeah.
So I took from her, and then one of her students, who happened to be the other person who had contacted Mary, or right after she died. And I could do the exercises and stuff when I was in class. I could, the mediumship and psychic stuff and healing and all of that. But then I'd go home and, no one to practice with or anything.
Yeah. That's so hard part.
The cool part about finding the online psychic community, because we could practice over Zoom and it was great.
Oh, yeah. Big difference. Yeah.
So it's just been, and just last night, Carol Lowell was the other psychic that that had been in touch with my sister and knew her. And I've been in touch with her since then too. And I've started a class with her every other week that Spirit just contacted her with the names of 6 people and said, we need to work with these 6 people. So we'll see what happens. I'm really looking forward to seeing what.
Joan, that's so exciting. Oh my goodness. I love that. And you bring up a good point, because practice, of course, makes perfect, so to speak. Not quite, but more. And also learning and growing and taking more classes and staying in that student mode just to keep your fine-tune those skills. I love that.
Yeah. So there's always something more to learn.
Yes, there is.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So I was told a lot of times when I would go into readings when I was younger and in my 20s and then 30s, 40s, you're psychic, do you know that you're psychic? And they'd tell me that over and over again. And I'd say, well, everybody tells me, but I don't know, Yeah. And I thought, then I had that astrological reading that said I would develop a lot more skills in my later years, which kind of upset me because I wanted it then, but I don't think I would have been ready for it then. So it's okay. It all works out the way it's supposed to. It really does. Yeah. That's fabulous.
We're later bloomers.
Later bloomers. That's right. But you feel more comfortable, do you, as a medium or as a psychic?
I don't even know what to call what I do.
Okay.
I don't do really traditional mediumship like the way Terry does it, where there's people on a stage and she can describe them physically and all that. I just close my eyes and see pictures. And most of the time they're symbolic. And most of the time they're meaningful to the person I'm reading for.
That's true.
And sometimes I get the message through it. I can do mediumship. I can do ghost clearing. I've done that.
Good.
But so I've still got a lot of work to do. I think I was taking a Suzanne Giesman course, and we had a practice session with a group of people I'd never met before. And but it was like the development circle where everybody just kind of sits there and tunes in. And if you get a spirit, hopefully someone related to the members of the group. You just describe them. And I
Yeah.
got this guy who I described, and I described what he looked like and where he was. And both, like, he was in this cabin, and he was with an older man who I thought was an uncle. And they
Uh-huh.
were fishing, and it was like somewhere in the Northeast, and there were like long lakes. And I thought, well, maybe this looks like the Finger Lake region of New York. And
Uh-huh.
he had bright blue eyes, and there was this pot holder hanging on the wall. And someone in the group said, that's not somebody I know, but it sounds very much like a young man who was a friend of her husband's, or the son of a friend of her husband's who had taken his life. And so she
Uh-huh.
went back and checked, and it said, check, 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 check. Everything checked out.
Wow.
And through that man, the man's dad, kind of went to some psychic who put them together. And it turned out that that boy's father was so despondent that he was thinking of committing suicide because he was just lost. So when it's something like, I think that son needed somebody to, let's get the ball rolling. Like, I'm not going to run in and be the hero here, but that chain of events helped somebody. And
Sure.
so when they really want to come through, I can do that. And it was so clear. But other times, if I'm out there fishing, I can get a message and I can get, some visual, but I might not get the perfect description. Well, he was tall and he was
Right.
and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm working on it.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Well, Lorraine, I want to put this up there. Her husband is a psychic medium, she says, and would love to join the practice sessions. And so, Lorraine, send me a link at Heart and Soul Connected, and I will hook you up with the 2 emails you need. There's different practice sessions. One is usually on Mondays, I believe, every couple of weeks with Jean. And I believe Andrea Galvin does one on Wednesdays. So yeah, send me an email, Lorraine. I'll give you, and I will write to the ladies and ask if he can join. That's, that's wonderful. We want to help. We want to help everybody along. So, oh my goodness. I want to say hello to all these wonderful people. We got 34 people here in the chat. Thank you all so much. We've got Marsha Green and Kiba. Sherry, it's good to see you, dear. Craig, Sharon Sipe, wonderful. Let's see, Jill Sinanan, and I said it right, I think. Let's see, Lorraine, of course, Juno Sphere. I don't want to miss anybody. Sue Butterfly Kisses, who is a fabulous healer as well. Deb H, good to see you, dear. Juno was pulling weeds at 5:30 a.m. Oh my goodness, Juno, can you come over now? I have lots and lots of weeds for you. Hi, Michelle Shining Light. Good to see you. Hi, Kate. Hypnicity. I love Mulcateo, Washington. It's gorgeous there. It's beautiful there. Gerald, of course. Terry Soma. Oh, I don't want to miss anybody. Goodness, this is wonderful.
Yeah, lots of people. Thank you all so much for coming.
Hi,
like
Vicki.
a coming out party. I dressed up in
it is. You dressed up in everything. Yeah, I understand. Cosmic Blue Avian, I'm glad you're here. Coming from Australia. Let's see. Patricia Frenzino. Don't want to miss anybody. And I do know I saw Gertrude here.
Oh, here's Gertrude.
Yep. Viviani. Hello, dear. And I'm just playing my Miss Jean card here. Let's see. I think I have everybody, but if I don't, running from home. Wayne Ridge. It must be lunchtime where you are, dear. Glad to see you. Hi, Janet. I know Janet's listening. Woo. Wow, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, and thank you, Hypnicity, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. That's very nice of you. Nancy Riker. Woo. Wow. Kelly Bowman, coming from Facebook. Kristen Louise, it's good to see you. Seascape. Hi, Carol Lamb. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Wonderful. Sorry, I just, I love my chat people. I know you do too. So I wanted to make sure that and if I missed anybody, certainly wasn't on purpose. Love you guys and thank you all for being here. And yes, we're going to do some readings this morning. And
it looks like Allie has frozen up. There she's
have I
back.
frozen?
Sorry, you froze.
That's all right. Sorry if that happens, everybody. Yeah, I got some questions here already, and but we'll take a couple more. We want Joan to have enough time to do the reading, so without pressure. Don't need pressure. And remember, she'll be here again on Thursday with our mediums as well. What a great story, Joan. Coming from a psychic family like you did, I don't know, it just warms my heart, because it's like everybody accepts that the other person has this gift. You talk to the other side like, oh yeah, your sister wants to give you a message, and it's not really a kind of spooky thing or anything. It's just wonderful. It really is.
What was wonderful for me in finding this community was, the family, all the women in the family talked about this very openly, but it was hush hush. You did not speak of that. And the fact that, oh my God, we're on YouTube,
right,
talking about this stuff. I don't know if younger people can really understand how, like, you just couldn't breathe a word of this, or you would be marked.
And even now there are people that are like, okay, yeah, okay, they're not real, but it's so different. It's much more open than it used to be. I remember somebody said they tried to open a YouTube channel actually in 2015, which was not that long ago, and they were pretty much pushed out of the community, because it wasn't at the paradigm shift yet, and very hard. And I know a lot of family people that grew up with, let's say, real strong religious doctrine, have a hard time, seeing their people. And what they don't understand is it's the same thing in a lot of ways. It's parallel, because all roads lead to the one. Yeah, absolutely.
The other fun thing with my mom and sisters was that we were so tuned in that we hardly had to talk to each other. It was like, you can do the, got it, yeah. And we knew exactly. when I got married, I was like so offended that my husband couldn't read my mind.
Yeah, you could finish each other's
talk and say all the words. I had this mantra going, he's a completely separate person. He doesn't know what you're thinking. So it took quite a while to realize that I'd actually have to talk. And eventually he came around. And he did. I'll tell one more funny story about that.
Yeah, please do.
Sometimes I would, hear things or see things at night. And rather than, something wakes me up at night, I'm always kind of like, what is that? Even though I know it's, it's from spirit or whatever. But one time I woke up and was, kidding him, said, there's somebody in the basement. There's somebody downstairs. We have to go downstairs and get him. And he kind of rolled over and said, Joan is just a ghost. Leave me alone. It's like, oh, okay, right. That's funny. I got used to it after a while.
After a while, it's like, better than this, right?
Oh, yeah. The first response was always an intruder.
But he was accepting, and it's really hard sometimes for scientific mind, which he was, to not allow it, but you know what I mean. Say, okay, your beliefs, that's fine. I'll go right along with you. I've been married to a logical man before, and he was very difficult. The one I'm married to now is very intuitive, so we have a much easier time of it. But that's great. So let's pull out some questions. I don't know if I have everybody here. If you have written a question for Joan, make sure, if I don't call your name out right now, that you tell me what time you posted it, or repost it, one or the other. So I have Kiba, Kate, Hypnicity, and Pierrette. That's what I have right this moment. So I'm going to go ahead and let Joan look at Kiba and
okay, September read. Just getting some. Palo Santo going.
There you
Kind of
go.
jumped in a little late, so I didn't do my usual prep here.
That's all
All
right.
right. Keep out. Okay, Lions for September. Okay, I'm seeing two things having to do with balance. I'm seeing the figure of justice, blind justice holding the scale with the balances. And I'm seeing the tarot card for, what's the one? You know this better than I do. Temperance. One foot in the water, one on the ground.
Yes.
Balance.
Yep.
So, and September is kind of an in-between month, at least here where we have 4 seasons. Between summer, it's not quite summer, it's not quite fall. So and now I'm getting all this feeling that I feel like you're going to be moving into something later, and this is the transition month, kind of a month to get your feet under you and like if you're skiing or snowboarding or any other kind of board sport where you're going from the weight on the downhill ski to the other ski or to the front to the back. It's that transition so that you can make a nice arced curve turn, whether you're on the water skis or the skateboard or whatever, to just know that this is a period of transition for you. And if you know that going in, maybe you can see as things start to move, you won't freak out like I was freaking out when I heard I heard or sent something in bed with my husband and said, "Oh, there's somebody downstairs." So just knowing ahead of time that this is a transition period for you, be aware and be looking for the signs. They're showing me the first leaves turning, and this doesn't mean literally that it's all about the leaves turning, but it's as if you are, whatever the subject matter is for you, whether it's a relationship or work or family or whatever, when you see the first indications of change, just see that this is as natural as the change of season. And you can just kind of, okay, I'm just going to slowly lean into it. And that will make the perfect transition. And I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that, it felt really good.
Nice message, Jean, she says. Yeah. Awesome. I'm not going to read for you right now, Kiba, because I read for you all the time. I'm going to let Joan do most of the work, but she's going to, okay, Gertrude, I can take yours as well. That's enough though right now, because we got about 8 of them left, and we want to make sure that she has time to do them. Okay, so questions are closed after Gertrude. We'll let her work. But here's Kate. Can you connect with my dear friend Nora and ask if she might have a message for me?
Okay, Spirit. Connecting with Kate, heart to heart, soul to soul, mind to mind. I'm feeling, Nora, there's a heart connection there, definitely. Nora, what's the message you have for your friend Kate? Did she like to bake? I'm seeing cookies, like chocolate chip cookies on a drying rack, a cooling rack. What else, Nora, can you say? I'm seeing a teapot. It looks like, is she the kind of friend that you'd sit around and have tea with and just kind of share your lives? I'm seeing kind of a swirling energy around the teapot, like you would get together and it was a beautiful sharing of your energies. And she said that's not gone anymore. We can still do that. So if you sit down to tea or whatever it was, I don't know if you sat down to tea or coffee or had a stiff drink or a glass of wine or something like that, but whatever you did together, she is suggesting that you kind of lay a place for her at the table and maybe put a glass or a cup there and just say, "Hi, I miss you. Let's just sit down and talk again." And you might not hear words. You might sense her presence, though. And if you're doing that, and this isn't to bring tears to your eyes or anything like that, but to just to kind of sit there and think about happy times you had, laughter you had together, or maybe, things that kind of peak experiences, whether they're high or low, but things that you went through together, and think about how grateful you were for that friendship, and you'll sense her presence. So you can still have coffee dates or tea dates or, after work drinks with her or whatever. I hope that helps.
Oh, that's really nice. She says she was very creative, very sweet, and very spontaneous. She could pull a picnic out of a backpack. I love
Wow.
that. Yeah. And I love the idea of her, it's like when we were little kids and we did the tea party and we would have our teddy bears and stuff, but we would talk to them and we'd have a cup of tea now. Here's your cookie. I love it. That's
Yeah, so
great.
maybe throw something on the ground and just have a picnic with her. That would be
There you
great.
go. There you go. Thank you so much. That's
Who wrote
beautiful.
that book? Allie, you probably know that poet who wrote the book called Picnic in the Cemetery.
Oh, I
Uh,
don't.
was it
Oh, I
Audre
don't.
Lorde? Someone like
Ooh,
that. I forget.
okay. What a
Long ago.
beautiful idea. My parents are buried in a cemetery that's in a very, very serene area with trees and so on. Maybe I'll do that when I go back east. I'll just sit there and have a picnic with them. I
Picnic in
think
the
that sounds like a
Cemetery.
wonderful idea. All right. So Hypnicity is wondering if you might give her a message from guides or ancestors, if you can.
Okay. What do we have for Hypnicity today? I am seeing what at first I thought was a highway with the white line, but I think it's a runway because it's the white line is down the middle, and and there's just I think it is not. I think it's a runway for an airplane, but the white line is going fast, 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 fast. So something is speeding up. Something is coming in for a landing with you. Spirit, tell me more about this. Oh, now I'm seeing the plane, and it's not like a jumbo jet or just a little plane. It looks, if I knew planes, I'd know better, but it looks like something kind of modern, supersonic, maybe like a military jet, or it's something that goes fast. There's the idea of speeds, things speeding up, speed and precision. And and this runway, and it's coming down. Okay, show me. Okay, it's coming down, and it's doing, what do they call them? Touch and goes? So the plane comes down, lands, and then boom, off again. So Spirit, tell me, what does this mean for Hypnicity? She spends a lot of time in the clouds, on the and is getting to be, that's where the precision is, and is getting to be well-versed in it, as well-versed as the pilot of this fancy plane, little speed dimming plane I'm seeing. And you don't have to spend as much time on the ground anymore. Come down, get grounded, do what needs to be done. But it's your delight is up in the clouds now, and so they're recognizing that and saying, yes, it's important to come down and get grounded, but then don't feel bad about spending more time with Spirit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
That's beautiful. Her name is Nalani. She was born in Hawaii, and so there's a base in Oahu. I don't know if that she's from Oahu, but some symbolic as well.
Okay.
I would say I don't know what she would say if that makes sense to her, but I actually love it. Oh, she wonders, will she ever make it back to Hawaii?
Oh, let's see. Let's find out.
We can pull out some cards, yeah. Or
a
pendulum. Yeah.
Hypnicity, Nalani, make it back to Hawaii. Yes.
I get affirmative.
Yeah. Will it be within 2 years? Yes. Will it be by the end of this year? Not by the end of this year. Will it be by the end of 2023?
Ah,
Yes. Will it be within the first 6 months of 2023? I'm getting yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Make your plans, honey. She's never been, she actually was conceived and was in the womb. She never lived there. She's never been able to
Okay.
see Hawaii. So,
Well, that would be a
wow.
fun trip. Yeah.
Yes,
Take
yes,
pictures when
yes,
you go and
yes.
send them back to us. Maybe get it
Absolutely.
posted to your
Uh-huh.
YouTube channel if you have one. That would be fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question, dear. So
Yeah.
Pierrette, as you may know, has her own show now, and she's wondering how her gifts are going. She wonders if there's more to come. I would, right off the top of my head, Pierrette, you know it, girl.
And I am seeing like a kid's drawing. I get a lot of children's drawings and children's literature stuff cropping up. And it's just a bunch of kids at the door at a birthday party. And they have those little streamer things and the little hats, and they each have a gift. So they're standing outside your door already with these gifts. Let me see where I put the pendulum. Okay. Does Pierrette have more gifts to come? Will more appear before the end of this year? It says no, not more, but I heard the word perfecting. So
Oh,
for the rest of this year, it will be more about perfecting the ones and using and growing, expanding the ones that you already have. And they said there'll be a new guide coming to you. His name might be Daniel,
mm.
who will be working with you on that. So
Oh,
let me know
wonderful.
if Daniel shows up. That would be cool.
Yes, yes. You know the song Daniel is leaving tonight on a
Oh
plane.
yeah.
Going to see Pierrette. you know, Pierrette is an energy healer, and so
Oh
that gift in and of itself is fabulous. So yes, just keep working it, girl, because you
yeah.
know it. Yeah, it's there. It's definitely there. Thank you. All right, so Craig wants to know if we can ask his old babysitter Aunt B. Probably. Were you
Okay.
on? Were you on with Andy and on the Andy Griffith show?
Yeah,
Aunt B.
I remember that day.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's see what we can do for Craig. Okay. Oh, his babysitter, Aunt B. I'm getting a lot of things about cookies. I'm seeing milk and Oreos
Oh,
sitting around at the kitchen table. And she's wearing an apron. Aunt B, what else can you show us or tell me that would be meaningful to Craig? I'm getting someone who looks like, who was that? Lucille Ball almost. And kind of and I know this is probably too old for Craig, but she kind of looks like that 50s housewife thing. And I'm seeing her with, something wrapped around her hair and being kind of a traditional, with the apron, and she's cleaning. And show me more, Aunt B.
Craig
Red
said
lipstick.
she was black. She was African American.
I do see her hair wrapped up. And maybe it was just that 50s aesthetic sort of. Okay. I'm feeling love for you and a recognition of the connection that you had. And she's trying to remind you of kind of remember what I taught you. She wants you to keep your house. She wants to keep your house picked up, and then yeah, get to it right away, or else it just becomes too much. but I'm feeling love. And
Mm.
okay, I want a little something more from Aunt B. What can you tell Craig? I'm here for you. If you ever have a question, she'll be there for you. She's kind of in the background, though. She's sort of referencing, I forget the name of your guide that's like the former.
Oh, Clara. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clara.
So
Yeah.
I feel like she's feeling kind of not outshone, but it's like, no, she's going to take a step back and not be too forward that way. But in quiet moments, she's there. She's there for you and is there for counsel too.
Mm.
She's not flashy like Clara, but there's a quiet understanding and acceptance and love for you there.
Wow. That's nice.
That was,
Yeah.
meaningful.
Yes, it was. Parrot wanted to tell you this. I'm just putting it up there so you can see it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So this is Vicky, aka Wiki, and she wonders if there's time a spirit guide reading. And I'm hearing the rain now out here. She was asked. Somebody asked me about thunder and lightning. I said, please wait till we're done.
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing something that looks like someone in a big chef's hat, but it's not a chef's hat. It's some headgear that sort of plumes out. Maybe it's more like a crown with sometimes they have that little poofy thing on top. What's this mean? Okay, now they're taking the crown and it's got red velvet, and now the gold parts that come up on either side, and now it's the red velvet underneath and the ermine base, and they're putting it on your head. They're very proud of you for something that you've done such a good job. Keep trusting your heart. It's like they're recognizing that you've taken steps in something, and I don't know if it's in spiritual development or in a relationship thing or at work or something, that they're very proud of you for. You've done something that it doesn't have to be the biggest thing in the world, but it was something that was a little difficult for you. If you look back 5 years and say, yeah, I never would have done that before, or this was kind of hard for me. And they're very pleased with you about this. So Spirit, can you tell me a little bit more about what this has to do with? It has something to do with money. So it's either a job or, I don't know, something about money management. And they're like saying, good job. So I hope that makes some sort of sense to you.
Wow. Okay. I pulled a card on this one for you. I get Goddess of the Earth, Vicky. An idea connected to imagination, creativity, and nature is going to be coming your way. So there we go.
Great.
Right. Ladybug wonders if you got a message from her maternal grandmother, Anna.
Okay. Okay, Anna. I am seeing someone playing a long horn. First, it was like somebody playing one of those Swiss horns, the really long ones that are like 20 feet long. And then it changed into something shorter, just a regular person. And then it turned into like a Hummel figure, sort of like a,
Mm-hmm.
and with a shorter, longer than a trumpet, but a shorter horn. And so what's the meaning of this? Heralding something. Okay. Anna, what's the meaning? Is there a change coming?
Wow.
Yes, there's some sort of change coming, and she's saying she's going to be with you through it, and you can call upon her for support. And now I'm seeing that little humble figure with the horn. She's putting it in her pocket, and she's saying to you, just keep me in your pocket as you go through whatever change this is coming up. And you can count on me. She wants you to have a heads up about this. This is something that's coming in the future. Okay, Grandmother Anna, can you give us some sort of hint about what this is? It's coming in the fall. I'm seeing leaves falling off the tree. And it may have to do with spiritual growth. Coming in the fall, she's heralding it now, and I'm feeling trust your heart, and she'll be with you through it. I hope that resonates with Ladybug.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And as you're saying this, Hypnicity says, "Oh, I'm half Swiss." You know how that message comes to other folks as well. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. I don't know if you've seen Lady Soul, but she's been on my channel, and she's going to be on Jean's channel soon. She's a wonderful medium as well, and she wonders if we might be able to get a message from her grandmothers, Maria, Esperanza, Cuca, Uncle Beto. Well, she can do maybe one and see what comes up. I don't know if she'll get everybody, but there you go.
Let me try Esperanza. I'm drawn to that name.
You're drawn to that?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. As soon as I tune into the name, my heart chakra lights up and it kind of goes whoom, that way. It's just kind of expanding through all the way up to my shoulders practically. So lots of love there. Esperanza. And it goes up to the throat. Speak your truth. I'm getting the idea that she was a strong woman who let her views be known. And even though in her time she didn't have the freedom that women do now, she had a certain kind of strength that she demonstrated for you, and she is showing me like she's giving it to you like a gift, like something that she cooked for you or something. It's not just whatever it was that you like to eat with her. I'm seeing something on a plate and I don't even know what it is. But it wasn't just the food. It was the love and it was the strength, how she managed herself in the world. Okay, Spirit, tell me more about this. Strength and flexibility. Now I'm seeing an orange cat, and it's not a literal, it's more like a cartoon cat, and it's like in every different position. So she's saying to balance the strength with flexibility, and everybody has to do that in the environment you're in. Yeah, the whole thing is if you're too strong and brittle and adamant, you'll either break or drive people away. So maintain your core truths, your core values, but be like the tree that can blow with the wind a little bit. so that you will endure, and what you and you can then the roots and wings kind of thing. You can put down roots and still spread out and have more of an effect. Your branches will have more an effect if you can remain somewhat flexible.
Mhm.
Esperanza, is there something specific you can show me that will let Lady Soul know that this is you? I saw something fluttering. At first it was like a butterfly, but then it turned into a bluebird. A bluebird with little something in its mouth, like it was building a nest. Happiness.
Mm.
Have a happy home. There we go. Thank you. I hope that.
That's nice. That's
yeah.
nice. Yeah. If you come back Thursday, maybe you can ask about the others, but I know it's hard to pull in all these folks, but I'm glad that, and that name did pull to me as well. Esperanza. It's a beautiful name. Wow.
Yeah.
Hypnicity wants to know what stone you're holding, Joan.
Oh, I have a, I forget what this one is.
Is it selenite or opalite?
Yeah, selenite. A selenite palm stone, and it just feels really good. And it's supposed to be really clearing. And then I have what is this one? It's a blue apagate, I think.
Ooh,
and
it's gorgeous.
I had a reading with Jen of Jen's World Tarot. And she said this was a stone that I should have. But she said, get a big one and put it on the radiator back there. But I got this one, and it just feels so good in my hand that I have to have it in my hand.
Is it apatite? Is that what you said it is? Apatite? I love apatite. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. And that's the throat chakra, the blue, and you're speaking. Yeah. That's all. That's nice.
So it's
if you want to know, it's apatite, apatite, and the other is selenite. And don't ever put selenite in water because it will disappear.
Right. Yeah.
Here's our Gertrude.
Oh, Gertrude, hello.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can find for Gertrude. Ooh, high vibration. I'm seeing, speaking of throat chakra lighting up, you're very much about communicating your message to other people. And then I saw sets of stairs going, like many flights of stairs, right? Stairs in a tower going up, 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 up. And you going up the stairs really rapidly. So I think they're very pleased with you. And through your ability to communicate, you're going to be raising your vibration, raising your visibility. Okay, what happens at the top of the stairs, Spirit? There's a great view. And the idea is that you're going to be reaching as far as you can see from the top of this high building. So, yeah. Okay, is there anything else that Gertrude needs to know to help her on this journey? As they say to everybody, this isn't, you don't have to be a psychic to say it, but especially when you're in a period of growth, it's important to ground. So do what you can to ground. And, even like on hot days, if you can't get out and be outside in nature, one of my teachers said, just sit and imagine in your visualization that your feet are in a big bucket of earth. And you can, feel your toes moving around in it, and, then start feeling the roots going down into the earth from your feet, and from that bucket all the way down into the earth. So I know you live in a very hot place where the ground might be searing sometimes. You might not want to go out and walk outside, but there's lots of ways to ground, as you know, and that might be another one to keep in your quiver, sort of.
Wow. She said her crown chakra took off. I do ground myself daily. That's awesome.
Good,
And
good.
it's a reminder for all of us too, I think. And so your guides are reminding us through Joan's message that we all need to ground. We all need to ground, and we all need to stay balanced. And I pulled up the Angel of Soul Love, Gertrude. Time to look at how you value yourself, issues of self-love. And that's the important thing, loving the self. That comes through almost every single day at some point. Self-love and self-care.
Yeah.
I think the universal energy is trying to remind us that this is very important because of the times we're in, especially. So, I don't know what the second part of this question is running. I'm so sorry.
We'll just see if we can get a message.
Get a message. Okay.
Alignment is the word that came to me. I started feeling the heart chakra, and then the feeling went all the way down to the root. So aligning your chakras and not ignoring the lower ones. I wasn't feeling the top one so much, but starting from the heart down, aligning the lower chakras. So paying attention to, everything starts with love, self-confidence, your passion, your power, your creativity, and your connection with Earth. Get those things lined up and spend some time on those 4 chakras. And it's sort of like watering a plant that seems dormant or something, and then all of a sudden huge growth comes. Anything else for running away? Yeah, it's getting in touch with the lower chakras and really lining things up will be of benefit to you right now. And as long as this came up, maybe I can repeat something that Jen of Jen's World Tarot said just the other day. She did a reading on the 8/8, and saying that was so important for the Lionsgate portal to align all your aspects. And I don't know, what do you mean by your aspects? And she said your conscious, your subconscious, your energy body, and your higher self. And that was the main message she was getting as far as what we can do to take most advantage of the Lionsgate portal, which is still open. So
right,
that resonates with that too.
Yeah. It's open till the 12th. Yeah. I had a lot of stuff happen on 8/8 myself personally. But what really blew my mind was that I was on a show with Kelly, and I got off and that's when they said the FBI had gone in on, our friend. And so it was just like, wow. And everything seems to be escalating, and you see it in all ways, in everything. So it's very fascinating.
That's interesting. I did wake up on the 8th, kind of feeling vibrations and things started percolating, and my head was too busy. I wasn't paying attention before, but it's for real.
Yeah, I know. It's going to happen whether you pay attention though or not. And then you'll go back and go, oh yeah. We have 2 more questions. Joan, is that acceptable to you?
Oh,
Can you do that?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Linda Thompson, her 2 daughters. She's wondering about how her 2 daughters, apparently there's some distance between them. So.
I'm seeing them as 2 planets that are just going like this. And you know how the moon always faces one way. They're both kind of stuck in this pattern right now. But what came to me is if you start saying the Ho'oponopono prayer, I always pronounce that wrong, but you know what I mean. What is it? Please.
Oh no. Ho'oponopono. 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 Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
I love you. No, I love you. Please forget. No, I am
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Please
Please
forgive me.
forgive me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I
I
love
love
you.
you. And just say it for both of them. And I have had some success that's come up. It hasn't come up for me for a long time, which is why I couldn't remember it. But
Yeah.
it's come up for me in private readings when people are either at odds or estranged. And especially for the person who isn't involved, really, that would be a productive thing to do. And you're not favoring one or the other or getting into any of their issues because it's between them to resolve. But I think that would be a really beneficial thing to do. And I said the word beneficial. The other thing Linda G is into now is what is it? The most beneficial outcome for all. You can throw one of those in there. But I'm going to
Yes.
ask the pendulum too. Let's see. Are Linda Thompson's daughters going to get back together? Yes. Will this resolve in 2022? I don't think so in 2022. It's not saying, yeah. How about will they get back together in 2023? I'm seeing yes for that. Will Linda saying this prayer for them assist in their reconciliation? Whoa, it's starting to swing much faster and higher there. So yeah, Linda, that's a way of not getting your fingers in and not treating them unequally, but it might feel good to you just to do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
I hope that works. Keep us posted.
Yes. Nana wanted to ask a question, but I only found this part of her question. So I guess you could just give her a general message if a general message can come through.
Yeah. Okay. Nana of 12. Spirit, what's the message that Nana of 12 needs to hear today? I'm seeing a bouquet of flowers. Okay, Spirit, who are the flowers for? She'll know. What do these flowers mean for Nana? I'm seeing them from above now, and at first it was like a bouquet that you would pick up at a store, and a more formal presentation of these flowers that represent, what do the flowers represent? Love, forgiveness, trying again, reconciliation, but mainly love. And now what are these other flowers that I'm seeing from above, Spirit? Take the higher perspective. I'm seeing like they look sort of like lilacs, like viewed from above, but they're darker. I'm not quite sure what these are. What's the message here? Take the higher perspective. Okay, like lilacs, it's seasonal. It's not something that blooms all the time, all in its season. So in its season, you'll see the fullness of this resolve in its season. Okay, Spirit, what season is that? In the spring. So maybe start opening pathways now, whether that is a literal or a spiritual, metaphysical kind of giving of a bouquet, and contacting someone spiritually first to kind of ease the energy. And but it's going to resolve in the spring. I hope that's helpful.
Kate says, "Are they morning glory flowers?" That must be what she's seen.
Were they morning? No, but they were purple.
They were purple? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Beck, we'll do a quick reading. We're really late here, but we'll do it for you, and then we're all done for the day. Thank you so much, everybody.
Beck. Ooh, there's intense energy. It almost gives me a headache in your third eye. Spirit, what's this about? You're opening up. It's working. You're working really hard on opening up, and I get the feeling that a lot is coming through. It's almost too much. It's almost like it's giving you a headache. When things come through too strong, just say, back off, or just, can you moderate it? Thank you so much for sending this to me. But it's a little, can you moderate it or modulate this, tone it down just a little bit? Or do it in spurts, saying, I can give you a half hour for this, but then I have to walk away from it. So yeah, you're seeing, okay, what is it? The third eye, for me at least, the mantra is, I see the world with God's eyes. And maybe that's why it's so intense. There's so much intensity from that viewpoint.
Yeah, she's got a lot of
headaches. Okay, good. There.
Shows that. Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm feeling too. All right, so Spirit, what can she do about the physical part of this? Okay, they're saying you're doing what you need, to do physically, but also approach things spiritually. Maybe seek a healer who can do Reiki, or someone who can help with that. And it might not help with it can have the opportunity to help with the physical pain, but it can help you manage the pain better by being in a more relaxed state. Gosh, I hope you get better, because that's intense.
She feels it. She's got to go home. Now she's got to do a sinus rinse. But anyway, yes, I love that mantra. I see the world with God's eyes. That's beautiful. That's just beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joan. You've been wonderful to come and be on the show. Everybody, please go over and like and subscribe to Joan's channel at Wisdom Seeker Joan. She also is on my shows on Thursday night, Meeting with the Mediums. And of course, has her own show with lots and lots of wonderful things going on for her. So thank you.
And I just wanted to jump in and say, if you want a reading, I love to do readings. And when you go to my booking page, which you can reach through my about page on my channel, there's like all kinds of different prices, including a reading by donation. So you don't have to pay anything up front, and you don't have to pay anything at all. If after the reading, you can send me whatever you'd like. But I just wanted to make the point that it's confusing to someone, because there's all these different prices, but it's just whatever you want to pay. It's my version of a sliding scale.
I love that, Joan. I do the same thing for my oracle readings, and that's really giving a lot to the community, especially those that can't afford to have that done and need it the most, actually. Yeah.
And but it's all the same reading. It's just a 1 hour psychic mediumship, whatever comes through. So I just wanted to clarify that. But thank you. This was really fun.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Love you all. Bye now.